Hey, I'm Megan from Golden Spiral Tarot, and this is my first ever YouTube video, so I'm a little nervous. To start out, I thought I would do Ethony's 30 Days of Tarot Challenge to kind of get me started on YouTube, and I'm starting a little bit late into the challenge, so I'm just going to kind of do it haphazardly when I have time here or there, especially with some prompts. I think I have more or less to stay on, so I'll kind of change things up as I go. Hopefully that's okay. So the first day one prompt is a reading, and it's a 2-card reading for the energy and major lesson of 2018. So I have my tarot Mucha deck, I should probably know how to say that, which is a lovely little kind of Art Nouveau deck that I bought this year. So I'm going to draw 2 cards for this, and I've already shuffled, so I'm just going to cut the deck and take out 2 cards, okay? So this card, I'm turning it over as we speak, is the energy. And so here we have the Knight of Wands for my energy, which is actually really exciting for me because I feel like I'm someone that needs a lot of sleep. I don't always have the energy I need. I feel like to do everything I want to do. So the Knight of Swords has a lot of energy, has a lot of drive, has a lot of passion. So I'm all for this guy. That will be great as the energy of 2018 for me. Good card. I'm happy with that. Let's see what the next one is. Oh, okay. So the major lesson is judgment for me in 2018. So judgment to me is a revelation, a calling, a wake-up call. And I think those are things I'm already kind of going through, especially I'm about to turn 28 pretty soon, and my Saturn's return is starting. So I have a lot, I feel like, that I'm about to learn, and a lot of difficulties and challenges that I'm suddenly going through that are really going to have me figuring out what is important to me, what I value. So this judgment will be interesting. This is an intense Tarot Mucha. That's an intense judgment card, if you guys can see it. Whew, okay. Looks like I'm in for a lot, but you know what? I think I'm ready for it. I survived the last few months of insanity, so I think I can handle this. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next prompt, which is top 5 tarot decks of 2017 that I purchased or just saw around and about. So, I had about 7 or so that I purchased, so I've narrowed it down. I whittled it down to my favorites, which was really difficult to do. So I'll just walk you through it. So one deck I just love is Tarot de Fuego, or Del Fuego, and this is a beautiful little deck, and I believe it's made, Ricardo Cavolo is the artist, and I believe he's a Spanish artist, but he has a lot of influences of Mexican folk art and traditional tattoos, which I love because I have a few myself and I keep collecting them. I wish I had more tattoos. So it's just a beautiful, bright, colorful, fiery deck, and it just has some amazing art. I mean, look at the sun. It's gorgeous. So there's so much going on, especially if you are like me and read more intuitively. There's just so much imagery that you can draw on and pull from as you read the cards. I got this deck out, I think, for a full or new moon for a friend. Look at that. There's so much going on, and we were able to just really delve down deep into the cards. It offered a new perspective on cards I hadn't considered. 3 of Swords. Kind of a bravery thing going on there with the apple. That didn't quite pan out since it's speared. Just fun. It's super fun, super colorful, really unique, really eccentric, so many interesting characters. So it's a great purchase if it's the right vibe for you and you're interested in that kind of deck. I also like the size of them. They're more rectangular and smaller, which is great for my teeny little hands. Let's see. So the next deck I want to go over that I bought is the Wild Unknown Tarot, which is probably most of you have heard of and seen. It's a very famous deck, so I feel like I'd heard and seen so much about it, I had to get it. And it's popular for a reason. It really is. I pulled this deck out. Oh, and here's the front of it. I pulled this deck out for a winter solstice reading. It was one of my first paid gigs where I was reading tarot, and I kind of brought it out without a lot of practice, and it really worked well. It was a really good deck. Its symbolism is very simple. It's very simplistic. Like you have the Mother of Wands here, which is a coiled snake around some eggs. It's very beautiful. It's very delicate. I also picked this to read with at an event because I think it's not off-putting by any means. It's going to be something that everyone can resonate with. That isn't maybe a little scary. I don't like that word. That's not the right word. But if someone isn't used to tarot, they might be put off by some more traditional imagery. So I think this is a very approachable deck would be a much better word. That's what I'm looking for. So it just has some beautiful cards. The pips or minors are only like mildly illustrated. So if you're a learner, it might not be one you want to delve into right away, or, you know, go for it, whatever. So you can see here with the Nine of Cups. So it has that vibe. It has that Nine of Cups vibe where it feels, I don't know, it has that sense of contentment and fulfillment. But you don't have the other imagery to kind of help you with that if you're learning early on. So that's a beautiful deck. Oh, the Hangman. Love it. Okay, so this is a great deck. And just beautiful, approachable. It's a really lovely, lovely deck. All right, so the next deck I want to show you that I got 2017 is the Crystal Tarot, and I believe this deck came out, I'll show you the box here. I think this deck came out early 2000s, and it's really just so lovely. The backs aren't reversible. If you read reversals, I'm still kind of up in the air with that, especially if the deck is like this and asymmetrical. So if I flip it up, I could tell if it's reversed or not. I will just read it upright with this deck, but that might be something for your consideration. Again, as with the Wild Unknown, the pips are less illustrated, but they still definitely have kind of intuitive things going on. So you can see with the Six of Pentacles, interesting things going on with the symmetry. So you still have stuff to grasp onto, but it is, I think, better for someone who's been reading for a little while and is really comfortable. Okay, six of Pentacles, okay, generosity, maybe doling out your resources, that sort of thing. So when you know that, then you can kind of delve into the imagery and have a better sense of what's going on in this card. But it's really lovely. It's like a mosaic. I gotta find there's a full for you, but there's, the Sun card, I think, is my favorite. And it's not a card that I'm usually like, oh, the Sun card, I love the Sun card. I'll see if I can find it. If not, look it up. If I can't find it, definitely look it up for the Crystal Tarot, because it is just sweet. It just encapsulates the ideas of the Sun so well. And it's one of my favorites. Oh, and also Strength is definitely one that I have to look right in a deck. Or it doesn't appeal to me. So let's see if I can find this little Sun, if we get lucky. But it just has some beautiful, bright, mosaic colors. It draws you in. It's very intuitive. It has some really interesting perspectives on the quartz, especially the swords. The swords are they're depicted very watery. So if you're familiar with the tarot elements, that's a little bit strange. You have a little bit of that in the Rider-Waite. Here's the Sun. But it is a very different perspective. So it kind of comes up with some different ideas when I was looking through the quartz. And I actually went through them on my Instagram at Golden Spiral Tarot. If you're interested in my perspectives and interpretations of this particular deck's court cards and kind of the different imagery and interpretations I came up for this deck. But finally, without ado, the Sun. Oh, it is so cute. Look at those little babies. So it has more of the traditional medieval-ish depiction of the Sun with the two children. instead of the baby on the back of the horse. But it's just so sweet and so wonderful. It just has such an innocence to it and just pure happiness that I think sometimes you don't always get with the sun. Oh, here's my cat coming over. He might make an appearance. He doesn't like it when he's not the center of attention, but we'll forgive him for that. Okay, so we have 2 more decks to go through. Another classic, Motherpeace Tarot that I bought this year. I heard so much about it, and I'd never worked with a round deck. And I think this also is a classic for a reason. I was especially intrigued by this deck because it's a feminist deck, and it delves into, so round cards, and here's the front. It delves into a lot of imagery and historical art from cultures around the world, which is really interesting. And the art is really beautiful. It's really evocative. It has kind of, oh, there's my kitty saying hi. Say hi, Sylvester. They're really into the cards too. Ooh, if I don't drop them. They kind of have kind of an antique, ancient, I think would be a better word, feel to them. And they're just really, really beautiful and healing. I think a lot of decks you go into, they always have a different feeling of reading. Sylvester, he's going to say hi and hang out with us for a second. I hope you don't mind. But this deck, it's just, it's just so natural. It's very feminine. It's very gentle. It's a deck that's going to help guide you to realizations in a very loving way, I feel like, as far as its personality. The Empress, always a lovely card. Love the Empress. So that's a great deck, especially if you're interested in trying these cool round decks. I've heard you can read them, like the next deck I'm going to show you, instead of just like upright and reversals, you can see the turning of the cards as sort of the phases of the moon and add those interpretations with moon cycles into that. I haven't tried that with the Motherpeace, but the next deck I'm going to show you is designed to be read in that way. So I've been kind of playing around with that one because that's my newest deck. Sorry. Getting these cards back in nice and safe from my kitties. All right, so the last deck I want to show you, and I could totally go over these all day because they are just gorgeous. Even if you never pick up a deck to read them, just having around, just flipping them through, they're just like, oh, they're so gorgeous. There's so much beautiful art out there. Okay, so the last one is Dark Days Tarot, and this is a fairly new one. I just got this for Christmas. It was a gift from my partner. He knows me so well. And I love, one really cool feature of this is the silver edging, so it's really pretty. And also this deck, and it feels like a lot of more modern decks are coming out with this sort of coloring with the black and white. So again, it has like this really intense kind of flavor to it. I love it though. So it's a very square deck, as you can see. And so it's designed to be read with the phases of the moon as the card is turned. So you have full, and then you'd have, let's see, waning, that's right. Then if it's this way, it would be a new moon. And then again, flipped another 90 degrees, would be waxing. So you can kind of read it with those different new moon keywords and full moon keywords and waning and waxing. So it adds a different layer and dimension to it, especially if you're someone that's interested in lunar astrology. That might be the one for you. Let's see some highlights in this deck. They're beautiful. I used this for my news reading for 2008 that you can see again on my Instagram at Golden Spiral Tarot. But it just has some beautiful imagery. It kind of has a surrealist feel to it, which I love. I think that works really well with the tarot, especially if you're reading intuitively, because you can know all the meanings, but when your reading really gets good is when you make some intuitive leaps. You can see my little kitty pop his head into frame. Hope you don't mind. So that's a lovely deck. It's really beautiful. This is my newest deck, so I have a little less to say on this because I haven't worked with it as much. But so far I'm really pleased with it. And it's just really lovely. It also has, what I find interesting, the elements are changed for the swords and wands. So the wands are associated with air and the swords are associated with fire, by the designers of this deck. And I've heard that sometimes people choose those associations. It's a little different, so I'm gonna have to work with it, try it out, see how that works for me personally. But it's good because it kind of stretches my view on things and makes me look at the swords and wands in a different way that I might have not. So that's always, I think, important when you're looking for a new tarot deck, is what's something that's going to challenge you to make new discoveries with tarot that you can then take into your readings, because I think that's a very important part when you're learning. I'm going to put these back in their box. Okay, so the last question for January 3rd is about oracle decks. Now, I do not read a lot of oracle decks. There's a lot I have listed that I really want that look beautiful, but I have some Lenormand decks I got a while back. I read them here and there. I really like how tarot is more abstract and more psychological than Lenormand, so that's why I tend to read a lot more tarot and own a lot more tarot decks. But the one oracle deck I did buy this year is really lovely. I got this at the local Golden Braid bookstore here in Salt Lake City, and this is Art Oracles. And this deck is really fun. So I'll just read you what it says. So it's a guide to the Art Oracles. Art Oracles cards offer advice drawn from 3 key elements in the artist's lives. Choose a card to consult the Art Oracles and change your, and then it has the 3 areas: life, work, or inspiration. So this deck has all these famous artists in it and some kind of advice on each of those 3 areas. So let's see one that I'm a little more familiar with. The art is beautiful. Okay, so Frida Kahlo. So if I were wanting some advice about my life from Frida Kahlo, it says, convalescence lasts a lifetime. You don't spell a painting without pain. So it has some really interesting kind of artist-based or artists based on kind of the artists' lives and advice that the deck creators came up with based on their knowledge of that person's life. So I think they're pretty fun. They're pretty interesting. I haven't worked with them a lot. I'm kind of figuring out how to integrate them since I'm so used to tarot. But I think these are really great just if you want some quick advice. It's all written there, and it can kind of have an intuitive spark that might lead you down different paths. So that's kind of fun. And the art, again, is just so beautiful. Okay, so then my wish list would be of the oracles that I've seen floating around. Fuzzy Prism, definitely. I need to get Holly Simple's tarot deck as well, because it's been on my wish list for ages. So I might have to cave and just spend the money on that, because it looks amazing. The Vessel Oracle also looks great. The Minimalist Oracle looks really cool. I think it would have, it's a lot of abstract art. So again, I think almost like the Art Oracles, it kind of gives you more of a bridge, more of a spark to kind of look at, kind of maybe has you go down different paths in what your intuition is telling you. So I think that's kind of cool. And the last one that I'd put on my wish list is a Lenormand, actually, even though I don't read those a lot, and it's called The Cute Little Lenormand. And if you look at pictures of this deck, and I should have put artists' names, I think I'll look that up and put it down below for you guys if you want to look at these decks, and I'll attribute them to who they are by. But that cute little Norman is exactly what it sounds like. It's absolutely adorable, super fun. And I think it would be a fun little deck to have. Okay, that is my first YouTube video. Sorry for all the rambling. I'm just learning, so things will change. If you'd like a reading from me, I just opened my Etsy shop, and I'm going to be adding products and readings there for the next couple months and weeks. So I have a bunch of readings available, including a New Year's reading. And also, I have a self-worth spread, so if you're ever feeling down, you just need a little pep talk, that's the perfect spread for you, so check me out. It's on Etsy, under Golden Spiral Tarot. I also have a link on my Instagram in my bio that you can look that up. Follow me on Instagram, follow me here if you like what I'm doing. Maybe I need a little push to keep me doing videos on YouTube, since this is a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I hope you enjoyed them. I'll just kind of see how things go with this tarot challenge, and hopefully learn a little bit of how to make more interesting YouTube videos. So I hope you don't mind my rambling. Let's see what else. Oh, and with my Etsy store, I'm hoping to also offer more tangible goods. So I'm making a prototype pattern right now for a knitted tarot deck bag. So I'll have that. I want to have a lot of resources to help you learn tarot as well. I'm currently creating tarot spread kits. So I hope that will be useful because that's something I've just been delving into as I've gotten more experienced in reading the tarot and designing my own spread. So I kind of want to pack that all into like a DIY, there we go, DIY kit to kind of help you on your spread creating journey. And hopefully that'll be useful, and I'll have that up in a few weeks, hopefully sooner. I still have a day job, so things will be a little slow going. But again, if you like my content, please like and subscribe. That would make me feel very good. And any feedback, anything you want to know about me, about my process, that would be great. I'd love to have more ideas so I can produce more content on YouTube since I'm so new to it. So thanks for watching and listening, and I hope you have a great beginning of 2018.